right there, let's talk sports fans. Thanks for tuning in.
Ooh, good evening, fight fans. Welcome to another great Headkicks and Haymakers. I am Bodkins, and of course, with me is my brother from another mother, Wit. And folks, it is UFC 299, baby, this Saturday. I mean, say what you want, but this card rivals one of the best cards. Definitely, maybe like in a long time. It rivals 300. I don't want to sit here and compare the two. Wit. I just want to sit back, kick back, talk some fights, enjoy the fight Saturday, because 299 is a card you got to sit down from the very first prelim, and you're gonna have to watch it all the way till the end. And not only that, before we even get to UFC 299, Wit, which we'll talk a little bit later, you got Friday night, Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. They're already there. They're already, doing the face-offs. Can't wait for that on Friday night as the little teaser appetizer into UFC 299 Saturday. Headlined the bantamweight champion Sean Sugar O'Malley versus Marlon Cheeto Vera. For my money, Wit, these are two of the coolest motherfuckers on the roster. I love both these guys. It's going to be a hard time to pick, to root against either one.
Man, listen, you said a mouthful, brother. When you get to the lineup that we got going on as far as
what up, Jay?
299 is confirmed. What's going on, Jay, my guy? With 299 is concerned, we got at the top of the top right now. One more main event until 300, and this one does not cease to amaze. Like you said, you got to start at the prelims, then you get all the way to the main event. We got banger after banger, and this is one that I personally will have to. I don't know how I'm going to section the kids away from me, but either that or they're just going to have to watch some fighting for the first.
Get some melatonin and put them to bed early, Wit.
That I do have the melatonin on deck. Do not play. All right, I will put the kids to sleep. Pause. But hey, look. When we look at the some of the big fights on this card right here, man. Look at before we start. Look at the prelims.
On the prelims, way down the prelims, you got Gamrot versus RDA. You got a former lightweight champion versus a guy who's on the rise in Gamrot, who's got all the tools to be a lightweight champion. You got Macy Barber on this card. Then the prelim, the main event prelim on ESPN, Curtis Blades versus Jalton Almeida. Let's start there with, what do you think about that fight? I mean, this is two guys, two heavyweights the winner could face, my guy, Tommy Aspinall, for the interim heavyweight title.
Man, listen, if you don't even know very much about what's going on here, you see the name Curtis Blades and you think that's the guy that's going to whoop up on somebody's ass or something like that. First off, second off, man, Jalton Almeida, we saw some really, really convincing wins when you beat Rosenstrike and Derek Lewis, okay? That's no slouching. So right now, I'm looking at it like this. Curtis Blades, he's going to have to put this one in a blender because I'm not standing and banging with this guy. No, sir. If you put Derek Lewis to sleep, I'm worried. All right? I'm worried. If you get Derek Lewis knocked out, like by decision, if you scared Derek Lewis enough, that's good enough for me. Rosenstrike, submission. Okay. I'll take that one.
Almeida's a wrestler. He'll wrestle. Both these guys are wrestlers. Blades hasn't. You look at his 4 losses. Blades has only lost to Francis Ngannou twice, and he lost to so heavyweight champion. He lost to Pavlovich, who fought for the title, and Derek Lewis, who also fought for the title. So it's not like Curtis Blades is out here losing to bums. No, he's lost to some of the hardest punchers out there. How do you see this fight going? I think it's going to – both these guys love to wrestle and take it to the ground, but so it's strength versus strength in this fight.
I'm definitely agreeing with you on that one. It's strength versus strength. But recently, Jordan Almeida showed me a little bit more of that bag that we haven't seen. A lot of the times, one of the things that catches those guys, a lot of these guys off guard, is that unknown known. We know he can stand and fight. We know he can wrestle. But of course, being a Brazilian, where is his jiu-jitsu? What will he do when he gets you on the back? We see he's got a submission on Rosenstrike. He's got 2 more on Turjak and Porter. It's somewhere in there. Curtis Blades trying to swing out. He might catch an elbow, man. Submission, tap game. So I'm rolling with Almeida on this one, to be honest.
You like Almeida? So the odds. So just for the record, Curtis Blades is 17-4. Jalton Almeida 20-2. The odds are dead even here with -110, -110 on both sides. For the ranking standpoint, I got the rankings just pulled up here. Almeida is 7, Curtis Blades is 5. So so it's Almeida could make a claim here, and so did Curtis. They got the history. Curtis has the history with Tommy Aspinall. We never really got to see that fight, right. As it ended prematurely. Here's the thing I think about Blades. Blades has only lost to hard punchers, guys with like lights out punches, right? I just mentioned it. 2 losses to Francis, a loss to Sergey, and a loss to Derek Lewis. Those guys probably some of the 4 hardest punchers in all of the UFC. I'm riding with the American here. Give me Curtis Razor Blades, to end the prelims.
Man, listen, I'm with you. This one definitely could go either way. But I'm looking for Almeida to pull something out of that Brazilian bag. You never know what these Brazilians are going to do, especially on pay-per-view fights, or not even pay-per-view fights, but right there at the top of the prelim, he might be trying to impress Uncle Dana just a little more, just this one time, and shut the show down and start off 299 with a bang, so to speak.
Yeah, let's get into the main card here this main card, all 5 of these fights have got – just excite me. You got the former bantamweight champion in Peter Yan, who is currently ranked at bantamweight. Where's the bantamweight here? I usually have all this stuff written down, but it just didn't happen tonight. Peter Yan is ranked 4. He's taking on Song Yadong. Peter Yan 16-5. Now he is a bit on a losing streak. Remember, he's lost his last 3 and really lost 4 out of his last 5, 2 of those to Aljo, and then a loss to Sugar Sean. So he's losing to, 2 of the guys who had the title, and then he lost to Merab his last time out. We haven't seen him in almost a year, and he's taking on an up-and-comer, the always dangerous Song Yadong. Song is 21-7. Thoughts? Let me look at. I'm into profile here for Song in here. I wanted to look at Song. Song's coming off 2-fight winning streak. Beats Ricky Simone and Corey Gutierrez, getting a huge step up. His last loss was to Corey Sandhagen, almost 2 years ago. So, thoughts on the former bantamweight champion Peter Yan taking on Song Yadong?
Let me tell you this: I did not get to see the fight against Gutierrez, but I did see the Ricky Simon fight. Song Yadong's got some hands, bro. And
he does got some hands.
This is one of those fights where, somewhere in the middle of it, this could definitely go either way. Peter Yan coming off this losing streak is one of those things where hopefully he won't overexert himself to get the win, or to maybe force a knockout or force getting Song Yadong in a position in which he will leave himself open. Song Yadong has great defense on the back. I do remember that from that fight as well, because, it went all 5 rounds with both Simon and Gutierrez, but Song Yadong was basically pointing the whole time throughout the fight. I like this one in terms of what Peter Yan can do, and if he wants to make a resurgence, if he beats Song Yadong. But if I'm going to put my money on anything right now, I'm riding with the Kung Fu Kid Song Yadong on this one for sure.
You like Song Yadong? Wow.
I like
there's
this one.
I like Song. I really do. And I think he's got a lot of talent. But there was a time in this place where I thought at one point in time when he was the bantamweight champion, I thought Peter Yan was one of the baddest dudes walking in the planet. And he just had some bad matchups. Some people will tell you if you go back and watch that O'Malley fight that he won that O'Malley fight, just a close decision loss. But there was a time, and he's only 31. Song's so young, he's 26. So that's what's crazy to me. Song's got a long time coming here, but my lock on the card. My lock on the card here is none other than it's Peter Yan, baby. I think Peter Yan remembers who the fuck he is on Saturday night, and he's going to show the world. He's going to remind the world why he was the former bantamweight champion and should have beat Sugar. Now, he bad matchup with Marab, 100% on that one the last time out. Song's not going to try to out wrestle him either. So I like Peter Yan. Peter Yan is my lock on the card, baby, at minus 120. Give me Peter Yan as my lock, baby.
Oh man, look, hey, folks out there watching right now, this is $299. We're talking about UFC 299 on Saturday. If you're agreeing with my guy Botkins right now with these locks, put who you go with in the comment section. Are we rolling with Song Yudong or are we rolling with Peter Yan? We want to see it. We're going to tell you who's rolling with the right side next Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll get into this other card there's going to be a theme here. I got a theme here. It's called a little bit of changing of the guard type tonight because changing of the guard as far as some of these older heads that have been in the game for a while, I think Father Time is coming for some of them on Saturday. And we get into the next matchup in the welterweight division. You got number 4, Gilbert Burns. Was on a run last year, stopped by Bilal Muhammad. He got hurt in that fight, and he's taking on none other than Jack Delameda, number 11, JDM's number 11. So a huge jump here for JDM from 11 to 4. We're going to find out, is Gilbert Burns that gatekeeper in the top 4 or 5? We're going to find out Saturday night. Gilbert Burns, 22-6. He's the dog on this card. Last time out, he lost to Bilal Muhammad almost a year ago, May 6th, in Miami. Before that, he had won his 2 previous, beat Neil Magny, beat Jorge Masvidal. Actually won 3 out of his last 4 before that. He beat Wonder Boy and had a loss to Hamzat in there. While JDM is 16-2, has not lost yet in the UFC. His last time out, he had a close win over Kevin Holland in a split decision win. So it is, JDM. JDM is the favorite here at minus 170. With your thoughts on JDM versus Gilbert Burns?
I know last time I stumbled upon the Kevin Holland JDM fight, and I was like, man, this guy's pretty interesting. Now it wasn't. Everybody knows Kevin Holland is pretty much not necessarily an up and comer. He's been around, but they were exchanging and he was doing some really good work on him with the takedowns. And I thought for a second that win basically went to Kevin Holland, but with a split decision, the judges saw it another way. Now, for me in this fight, this is one of those underdogs where I got to look at Gilbert Burns, who at one point was on top or right there on the cusp of championship contention. Gilbert Burns has been around for a while, just like you said, with the changing of the guard. He's 37 years old. But if you look at who Gilbert Burns has fought and actually lost to, it's tough. This is not going to be easy. But right now, in my mind, man, I'm putting money on the dog on this one, bro. Gilbert Burns might show up and show JDM, look, man, I'm not ready to go yet. 37 is the new 27, and we're gonna roll this one like no other. So I'm looking forward to seeing JDM go down to Gilbert Burns, but not in a negative way. Just because it's this every once in a while, some fighters, after they take those losses, they get a little energy boost, a little resurgence, and this may be just that for Gilbert Burns.
Woo, we disagree again, brother. Usually you like the dogs on this card, and I like the favorites, baby. I do think Burns has got a good chance, especially if it goes to the ground. We're talking about, Burns is Olympic gold jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like he is a jiu-jitsu master, but it just seems like he wants to stand as well. JDM wants to stand as well. I just think sometimes Father Time, I said, is changing of the guard on this card. And sometimes, it's Father Time awaits for nobody. And Burns he's fought the who's, and he, last year, remember he was like on like the first 4 of 5 cards of the year, and then he got hurt, and then we didn't see him since May of last year. With that being said, though, I like JDM. I'm going JDM right here. Give me JDM. It's a change in the guard. It's new blood in the welterweight division. It's about damn time we start getting some.
Man, listen, I'm rolling with you. This is one where I don't like it if it goes to the judges' scorecard. Let's put it like that. I don't like it if it goes to the judges' scorecard in terms of Gilbert Burns. But if we somehow see, just like you said, a little bit of some ground and takedowns and a little bit of that jiu-jitsu come in, that's where Gilbert Burns will excel in this fight. And I think that's where you could take him, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of, we just mentioned the aforementioned Kevin Holland, the number 13th ranked welterweight in the UFC, and he is taking on none other than making his UFC debut, a Michael Venom Page, MVP, baby. I love Kevin Holland. Call Big Mouth. I love Kevin Holland's swagger, but MVP, folks, he has left dents in dudes' heads. Literally, go look up the MVP Cyborg fight, not the female, but the male version. There's a huge dent in Cyborg's head. Whit, I know you're a fan of MVP. Thoughts on this fight?
Well, yeah, man, you already put it out there for the world to know. Let me tell y'all something, man. And another promotion that was not the UFC, of course, now they got the Bellator and the PFL going together. Michael Venom Page was a top-notch draw for that promotion. If you don't know, now you know. Go look at Michael Venom Page when he brought out Pokeballs for his competition, and he rolled them out every time he knocked a guy out. This is a guy who brings not just skill, who's been doing martial arts since he was like 5, but he also brings, a heated amount of energy towards every fight, and also brings just a little bit of showmanship. When you think about Israel Adesanya, you want to think about maybe a smaller, slimmer version. I put Michael Venom Page in that same vein. Not only is he going to entertain us inside and outside of the ring, but when he gets in that ring and that cage closes, he means business. So if you can't tell by what I just said, I'm definitely rolling with MVP. I love Kevin Holland. Don't get it twisted. Kevin Holland is great. He's coming. He is right there in that mid-range where, hey, you gotta fight him to see how good you are. But MVP is already on another level in another promotion. So we just gonna get introduced to him for the second. Well, y'all will get introduced to him for the second time. I already know about my dog Michael Venom Page. What's happening?
Yeah, and MVB's coming in. He's got the perfect dance partner in Kevin Holland. Like, if you're wanting to wrestle a WrestleFest, this ain't it, folks. If you're wanting to stand and bang and see two dudes throw a lot of crazy punches, that's going to be a fun fight. It's this one. I think this fight, or the co-main event, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, circle those two as possible main fight of the nights. Type caliber. I think this is going to be a fun 3-round, 15-minute, fight where these guys are just going to throw everything at the kitchen sink. But I'm going to go with my guy here, call Big Mouth, baby.
Oh.
Give me Big Mouth.
What's going on tonight? I thought we was boys.
Hey, we are, baby, but give me Big Mouth. I just think that Kevin can get it done. Like I think he can. If it goes to the ground, we've seen Holland submit folks. I'm all in on these younger fighters on this card. I mean, you look at the age, 36 and 31, age-wise. Like, I got that Volk thing in my head where they were like, everybody under these smaller weight classes, 36 and younger, they don't win. Like, I know they're not title fights, but they're still, it's just crazy to me. Venom MVP's the dog on it at plus 115. Kevin Holland's minus 135.
I mean, listen, I think that this is the one that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Like, this is the one you can't blink in all 3 rounds. I'm waiting for it. Listen, Kevin Holland, kudos to you, bro. I remember watching you during the Apex days during COVID. Listening to you yell at DC on the sideline, asking him what to do. Like Kevin Holland was one of those people that saved UFC or saved our entertainment during COVID. So shouts out to him. I got much
he was becoming a character. Yeah, he was Mr. Apex. He was having a lot of fun. And what did he fight? Like 5 times in 2020 in the Apex.
It was him. It was him, Gilbert Burns, and Kamzat. They fought like once a month during COVID. I swear to God. But in this point in the conjunction, they're bringing MVP in to say, look, this is your test. This guy ain't playing, and I'm looking for one of those MVP head kicks to just pop off, because one thing that you normally don't see with Kevin Holland is him either getting leg kicked or those shin kicks or those high thigh kicks that literally MVP is known for. And somewhere in there, you start biting at one of those, and man, he's quick enough to do one of those switch kicks and land right on your temple, just like you saw in the Cyborg fight. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. I think this whole card, man, is just one of them you're gonna have to stay up late and just enjoy it. And we
gotta order wings.
I'm excited for that. I really am excited. I want to see what MVP does on this stage. He's got the perfect dance partner with Kevin Holland. We know Kevin Holland loves. I was listening to a podcast and they're like, they think this fight will be a little bit like the Wonder Boy MVP or Wonder Boy and Kevin Holland fight. I think late last year or a couple, late 2022, I think that fight was, but that was a fun fight. And when there's 2 dudes just beating the hell out of each other. And speaking of beating the hell out of each other, it's our co-main event and it's 5 rounds. Not for any belt. It's very rare that it happens, but Dustin Poirier, who's a legend in this game, who's number 3 ranked lightweight in the lightweight, and he is taking on, Benoit Saint-Denis, who is number 12. I mean, this is a huge jump for Benoit Saint-Denis, all the way from 12 to fight a guy who has been around and fought the who's who in the UFC in Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, 29-8. Benoit Saint-Denis, undefeated in the UFC, but is 13-1. Benoit Saint-Denis is minus 220. Did you know Benoit Saint-Denis used to be special forces for his country in France?
Yes, highly decorated, real veteran of foreign wars here, Benoit Saint-Denis. I don't know if we got a chance, if everybody remembers, but Moises, knockout. Frivola, knockout.
Yeah, he murdered Frivola, yeah.
What? Come on, like he's got a little bit of a resume, and even though the ranking says 12, he fights like a top 5 type of guy. So we're going to see
all his fights in the UFC have been finishes.
Never go see the judges when you fight Benoit Saint-Denis, okay? And this is a 5-round fight. He has not been past the second round, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, and I want to take that back. He's only had, he lost the fight by decision, and then he has 1 no contest in there. All his fights have been finishes. I'm looking at it. Submission, submission, submission. No contest, submission. KO, submission, submission. Decision lost, submission. KO, submission. KO, KO. The man, he goes out.
He don't like no judges. He don't like judges.
Hey, and the one time he went to the judges, it was the decision loss. Guess what? Right. He ain't going to let it happen.
No. Listen, bro. Me and you, we do this a lot. We talk very highly about Dustin Poirier. We love the duel he had with Gaethje 2 times, where we saw Gaethje come out on the back end. I don't think this fares well for him if it was a 3-round fight. But since it's 5 rounds, I think this is better suited for Dustin Poirier, even though Benoit Saint-Denis is scary on the feet right now. But I just think somewhere in here between those championship rounds 3, 4, and 5, Dustin Poirier might just find a way to put Benoit Saint-Denis on his knee and take him on out one time, just to keep his name right there at the top of the division, past past the and in the mindset of guys like Leon Edwards, basically, because that's the only other way he's got to go if he beats a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis.
Well, I mean, he does. DP said he feels like if he wins, he not a title shot next, but is one win away from a title shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, if he wins, he's on the rise instead of maybe falling out of contention if he loses to the 12th ranked. Benoit Saint-Denis. So, but listen, this is one of those. I don't know if Benoit Saint-Denis knows how to go into that deep water. You know what I mean?
We're gonna find out, and maybe he don't need it. I mean, if he finishes,
he's never had to. He has never had to worry about anything past the second round, or except for in that one time in the decision. If this is one of those fights, man, like, hey, everybody listen, everybody watching, everybody paying attention, do not blink during this co-main event. Okay, get your drink, get your food. Whatever else you like to have while we're all grown. Whatever else you like to have while you're watching UFC fights, and don't move during this one, because as soon as you get up to go to the bathroom or get some ranch, fight could be over. I promise you.
It could. I think we're gonna see some finishes on Saturday night. I mean, I really do. Or at least some fun. If they're not finishes, I think you're gonna see a lot of fun decisions. Personally, the thing. So I went back and rewatched the Mike Chandler fight. So that was the fight before Justin Gaethje, the second time. And really, DP should have lost that fight. If Mike Chandler just wrestles him in the third round, he probably wins. And Chandler just sometimes his fight IQ frustrates me. And before that, he had lost to Charles Oliveira. But the thing of it is guys just don't come back from head kicks. Something about a head kick like he took from Justin Gaethje that sends him into the shadow realm. And he's 35 years old. I think again, same thing I said for Gilbert Burns. Changing of the guard is happening on Saturday night. I love the younger fighter in BSD. I like BSD. I really do. I think BSD finishes him. I think we have witnessed the end of the prime of Dustin Poirier. Maybe he proves me wrong. And I hope he kind of does, because I like DP is one of the greatest guys in this sport. When all the stuff with Conor, when Conor was trying to get under his skin, he just let it go and beat him twice. And I'm going Benoit Saint-Denis, fresh new blood in this lightweight division. Give me BSD, baby.
Man, look, this is one of those that if it gets past round 3, I'd throw all the bets away, start over fresh, and look at what happens in 4 and 5 for me. If you are correct, my brother, this may not even get that far, man. I
think BSD finishes them in the 3rd, maybe 4th round.
Man, you make a great point when you say something like the response after getting a head kick is completely different for older fighters. And I think that maybe Dustin Poirier may be in that bag. Um, who knows? But I'm excited for this one. Benoit Saint Denis. He might just be, this might be the downside of DP right now, man. For the Diamond Dustin Poirier, he might be. Who knows?
Yeah, I do too. Let's get into the main event. I started off. I do think these probably two of the coolest guys in the UFC. There's probably not, I was listening to another same podcast. Somebody asked, well, let me ask you this. There was a guy on the UFC roster that you wanted to, smoke a fatty with and watch Pineapple Express with. Is there anybody else that you might not choose other than either Cheeto or Sean O'Malley?
Man. Maybe Kevin. I feel like Kevin Holland would be funny. The fun to hang out with. Now that even though he may lose.
Yeah.
But definitely like if we get on that sugar train, man, and we doing something like we in Vegas, we just riding out, man. But if we're in a foreign country, a Spanish speaking foreign country, I'm with Cheeto. Period. That's it.
Yeah, I think Cheeto's one of the coolest guys there is. Always changing up his looks, just so cool. Him and Action Bronson hanging out together all the time. I like Cheeto as like just a person. I like Cheeto as a fighter. I think he's a very slow starter. So the fact that this is 5 rounds, they fought way back in 2020, in the dead heat of the apex of silent crowd, nobody at the apex. And Sean doesn't acknowledge the fact that Cheeto beat him with that weird kick that pinched his nerve and kind of ended it for him. That's the 17-1 on Sean's record. And here we are, 4 years later. And I kind of think that Sean's the better fighter. I think he's the most improved, but Cheeto has improved greatly too. Thoughts on the main event here on Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Cheeto Vera?
All right, man. So this is a trap. I think this will be a trap that has been set already by Sean O'Malley. The antagonization of Marlon Vera, the mind games, the conversations with Ariel Helwani, and somehow Marlon Vera's like watching it live, and he calls in and is like, "Man, what are you doing? You get no girls, man." It's all a mind game, because when Sean O'Malley steps into that ring, he's got the cornrows to the back, the switch is turned on, and it's not a game anymore. And he is literally out here knocking guys out. I love to watch what's my guy's name? Max Bless Holloway fight in the UFC, because from every once in a while you want to see a guy pepper him up, put up the dukes, and let's have it out. The second best person to when Max Holloway was in his prime is definitely Sean O'Malley. Somewhere in there, I think that Marlon, tries to do something out of the way to get Sean off his guard, off his rocker, and then Sean catches him. I'm still rolling with Ann still on this one. I love Cheeto Vera. Don't get me wrong. Me and you talked about this on numerous occasions, but I think this is a matchup in which Sean ain't going to let
Cheeto's never been finished, by the way. 23-8-1, never been finished in damn near 30 fights. And
that's what I'm saying. It's
never been finished.
It's a possibility that with these 5 rounds, the points, the judges will make the decision. Everybody knows when you're a champion fighter, these championship fights, me and you, the average fan, we're excited. We're going, oh, they're going to knock each other out. And then next thing you know, we're in the 4th round going, well, when are they going to hit each other? Points will matter in this fight. Sean O'Malley is not stupid. I don't think he's going to let Cheeto catch him off guard. The hand speed and the precision of the punches will play a part in the judge's decision. And I think I'm going to roll with Sean O'Malley on that one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I think so too. I think is going to happen. I think Cheeto will come on late, maybe win rounds, 4 and possibly 5. But I think Sean will have rounds 1, 2, and 3 in the bag, and so I like. And still UFC Bantamweight Champion of the World, Sean Sugar O'Malley. And then we're going to get him and Marab next.
Yeah, man. Marab Divishvili will be waiting in the wings.
He's already in Miami. I think they said he's signed up to be the backup fighter.
Oh, yeah. Divishvili, he ain't playing no games. He said, I won that last fight. I want whoever wants me. And I'm telling you, let's watch how that ring happens to all of a sudden unfold after that fight and see if Divishvili gets into the ring and has something to say.
So when I always have to give out a dog on the card, and I didn't give one out on the main, and Curtis Blades and Jalton Almeida's even. So I always like to give out at least one dog, and I liked all the favorites on the main for some odd reason. So call me crazy. It probably doesn't work out that way. But so my dog on the card, one last time, turning back the clock. I'm going to give it up for my guy, prelim Pedro Munoz at plus 175 to beat Kyler Murray is my dog on the card. With
I like this. I like that one because this is a matchup that easily can be won by the dog. Now, is this going to be one of those that we gotta, once again, I think somehow the standing and banging will pay dividends, especially in the dog's favor. Like I don't really see this one going all 3 rounds. I really don't. So let's pay attention to that for sure. And I think you picked the right one on that one. I'm agree with you, bro.
So to recap, I think we got everything different. You picked DP, right? You like Dustin over BSD?
Yeah, I like Dustin over BSD, man, but I'm scared, man. I'm scared for him. But it's 5 rounds. If we get past the 3rd and 4th round, I like Dustin Poirier. Trust me.
I tend to agree. Like I think BSD can get him out of there though. So we are separate on everything on the main card except for the main event where we both got and still.
That's for sure. Yes, sir. So hey, don't forget, guys, we talking UFC 299. You're right here looking at us on Headkicks and Haymakers. Make sure you're in the comments. You're telling us what you're thinking. Is Bikins right? Am I right? Are we rolling with the old heads on this one? Or are we rolling with the young bloods? Just tell us what you think.
We mentioned at the top before we get out of here, we got to talk a little of this Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua on Friday night. 10 rounds for these two gentlemen. Francis was having some few choice words for Mr. Tyson Fury in today's press conference. And, Tyson Fury has come out and said, hey, there is a rematch for Usyk. So it looks like they're going to fight that at least twice. Winner of that probably still gets Francis somewhere down the line, or Francis or AJ, whoever wins on Friday night. Your thoughts on Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou?
First of all, everybody knows me. I'm the boxing purist. Let's put it like that, because I just like how it looks. Don't tell me about the wins and losses. Let's talk about
sweet science, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about just the factual evidence. Everybody who doesn't know should know, straight up and down. Francis Ngannou gave the lineal champion, supposedly the best boxer under the Queensberry rules of boxing. Look it up. Tyson Fury, all types of business that he's never seen before.
I think we agreed. We thought he won, right? Did you? I thought he won.
We both thought he won. Half of the world thought he won, unless you were like in England in a pub. That was the only way you agreed that you thought that Tyson Fury won that fight. But this time, this is a different fighter. This is Anthony Joshua. This is a cerebral boxer messing around in an Olympic, almost a linebacker's body. You know what I'm saying? But somehow, some way, we have to remember that Francis Ngannou is a trained combat sports practitioner. It don't matter whether he's kicking or tackling for takedowns or just punching. I like this one for the simple fact of, look, man, I don't think you know how good a person is until you put him up and back, put his back against the wall. And once again, although Anthony Joshua, everybody's going, oh, if you watch all the stuff they got right now on the internet, on YouTube, everybody who is English is going, oh, Anthony Joshua is going to knock him out, man. He's been boxing all his life, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Francis Ngannou does not care about any of that. And I see it in his eyes. Francis Ngannou went back. I don't know if y'all know, Francis Ngannou went back to the salt mines he used to work in between training for this fight. And I think he had a vision where he said, I'm never going back to that. Never going back to that. And how do you stay out of the salt mines? You knock out the English black guy, period. And I think it's happening. So I'm going with Ngannou basically on just the strength of what I've seen in the past 2 fights from him boxing and going from MMA into boxing and actually doing well. It doesn't happen very often, but this is one of those times where if Anthony Joshua slips up, he ain't coming back from this one. This is not Deontay Wilder, my boy. This is not Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, it's not Deontay Wilder and it's not Tyson Fury. I mean, we've seen Anthony Joshua go night at a time. The thing that I think that what Francis had him going for him and Tyson Fury is that the unpredictability nobody knew, right? Like, but now we know he can stand toe to toe. We know he can box. But I just love, there's something about this story of Francis Ngannou, from being homeless to being, like you said, working in the mines, having to escape, his country to go to France, sleeping on the streets in France, to get to the UFC, to the battle of UFC, of trying to leave the UFC, and Dana and everybody calling him every name in the book, everybody saying he fumbled the bag, this and that, and he always stayed true to himself and what he wanted and reached his dreams and goals. In chasing it, and here we are, after losing to Tyson Fury. It can't end. I don't think the story or the movie that will be written by Francis Ngannou ends with a loss to Anthony Joshua. So with that being said, I like Francis, baby, to win on Friday night. I think he can knock out AJ, shock the world one more time, Francis, and get it done, baby. These two guys. I mean, they called Tyson Fury and Francis battle the baddest. But I mean, Jesus, is anybody more fit than Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou? I mean, they look both like they're chiseled out of freaking stone. And two dudes that you don't want to fuck with. And we're going to find out who's the baddest dude in the block on Friday night in Saudi Arabia. And I'm excited for it.
Man, bro, you said a mouthful with that one. This is going to be one of those that we're going to hold on to for the entirety of the year and say, remember that time when Francis Ngannou fought Anthony Joshua. And I want everybody to be clear. We are not saying that Anthony Joshua is not a championship boxer. He is not a good champion, that he is, a slop. No, in no way, shape, or form that we disregarding Anthony Joshua's prowess in the ring, him being an Olympic medaling boxer and coming out and becoming heavyweight champion. We're just saying that the thing that Francis Ngannou possesses, which is
raw power.
Unparalleled striking power. I don't think that he's seen that before. And I can't imagine accidentally getting hit in the liver by Francis Ngannou, much less my head. Okay. So yeah, I'm going with Francis Ngannou on this one. And y'all know me, man. I'm going to be locked in. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Me and Box is going to be talking cash trash on Friday night for sure.
And Saturday, tune in. We'll put I'll tweet out all my picks on Saturday as well. To recap the same. I usually don't change my picks either. So I'll probably keep what I kept tonight as well. But man, with this, man, I'm so excited for Saturday night. It's definitely one of them cards. $2.99 is going to be fun. I can't wait to sit down and watch it all Saturday. And then we got a month, and it's 300. So man, it is going to be some fun. Some fun fights. I mean, this past Saturday, we can look at. I wanted to ask you this past Saturday. Saturday's card. Thoughts on a couple of those guys? What was it? Jairzinho, big win for Jairzinho. And more importantly, I wanted to ask you, should Muhammad Mokaev be next for the flyweight title against, Pantoja?
Man, listen, we talked about that one, and like it was kind of like one of those where like you could sleep on that. You could sleep on that card. But the matches were entertaining, and that question in itself, can you go ahead and put him up there to fight Pantoja? I don't think so. I think there has to be one more fight in between before we call him a championship contending fighter, and that because that division is full of is like a murderer's row of fighters, like 5 through 1. So somewhere in there, can we get another round, another fight in there in a few months, maybe in June or July, in order for him to, if of course, I think that would suit the people more better, because I really wasn't into. Don't get me wrong. The Mexican, the Noche UFC, whatever it was, I liked it, but they didn't put top billing on that card like they should have, and I think he needs one more bright light exhibition in order to put him up there and go ahead and go for the title.
Yeah, I would like to see him maybe fight Manel Cape or Kaikar France. Why not? I don't know if you want to do Pantoja Royval again, but I kind of agree with you. After that performance, it wasn't impressive enough to give him the title shot, but that was kind of the talk out of the card. Jairzinho, nice win to finish somebody. I'd like to see Jairzinho and Derek Lewis fight. They've never fought. Two big old boys are Jairzinho and Tai Tuivasa, who fights in a couple weeks.
Listen, Tai Tuivasa is up there. Kaikar France is one of those up and coming guys that way. If you're not paying attention, he can put your favorite fighter to sleep. And it's very rare that we have. The top 5-6 guys are all practitioners of putting somebody down. But I like. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that he did get a decisive win. But I just think that in those bright lights, like against a Derek Lewis, against a Tuivasa.
Jairzinho right now is number 11th in the heavyweight, or him. For some reason, they got 2 11s here. Or Derek Lewis is 12, Jairzinho's 11, and Tai is 8. So I'm okay with Jairzinho kind of fighting up and fighting Tai. He also said he would like to fight Derek Lewis. So in the heavyweight, his next time out. So I'm okay with either one of those.
Yeah, I'm definitely with it on that one. And Derek Lewis, man, he's one of those guys where, like we said, the gatekeeper of especially the big men of MMA. You got to see Derek Lewis at least one time in order to say that you're a real heavyweight. So I'm with you on that one, bro. We gotta see him one more time before we try to crown him.
Hey, what do you got coming up? You got anything coming up show wise before we get up out of here?
Hey man, look, shout out to everybody checking us out right now. Thanks to my brother Bodkins once again. Hey, you know what time it is, man. LTS Fridays. Don't forget, we're doing In the Hoop at 9 p.m. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the LTS network of shows. And then you can catch us talking NBA basketball. We're getting ready for March Madness. I got to talk to my Uncle Scott. He's out there betting on dogs, horses, shuffleboard. So we're hopefully going to get him to talk some bracketology with us in about a week or so. I'm so excited about this NBA season because it's one of those where the Celtics look really good. I don't care what anybody tells me. But, hey, basketball, NBA is where we at right now. So catch me on Friday, and we're going to be hanging out doing that. Real quick, before we go, a little bit of more boxing. Everybody remembers me talking last week about Canelo Alvarez leaving the PBC. There's a possibility of him going back and him putting a little bit of money up with fighting Jaime Munguia. Everybody knows Jaime Munguia is one of those new boxers out there. If you're not new, or if you're unaware, he is somebody who can put hands on Canelo. But Canelo's the money man, and somehow, some way, we've got news that the David Benavidez fight was canceled because Canelo Alvarez said he don't like the 95-5 split. How many more millions can you want, man? Like, what you want me to just take? You want me to take 2 million?
98-2.
Right, 98-2. Like, what do you want? But the point is, David Benavidez, his camp is saying, look, we will take whatever to prove that David Benavidez will be another Mexican great in the division. And Canelo Alvarez is not only the gatekeeper, he's the sun, the moon, the stars, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost right now as far as boxing is concerned. So I can't wait to give you some more information about that. But let's keep our eyes and ears open as we are talking about May 4th to see Alvarez and Jaime Munguia in Las Vegas, fight capital of the world.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll be back with the boys tomorrow night on the LTS show. We'll talk a little bit all these football stuff, and then I think we're going to do the our top 10 greatest sports moments. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then this Sunday, tune into a special episode of the Bodkin Show. I have a professional fighter, my guy Ray Sweet Baby Hayes, joining me. He's 3-0 as a professional right now. One of the top ranked guys coming out of the Midwest here in Missouri. He's been on the program before, not as it was as an amateur. So this will be the first time we'll talk to him as a professional. Just had a huge win, his third win last Friday, and is looking for another fight here in a couple weeks, couple months to fight again. So can't wait to talk to him. He's been putting on some shows in the cage, and some of the stuff offside, even outside or in the cage after the fights are over. It's great. Can't wait to sit down with my guy Ray Sweet Baby Hayes Sunday, 7:00 Central, 8 Eastern. Please tune in as we sit down with professional fighter, 3-0 undefeated Ray Sweet Baby Hayes. And someday this guy's going to be on a UFC card, and we'll be talking about it then too. So can't wait.
Hey man, even if he's on the PFL or Bellator card, shout out to Ray out there, man. I'm gonna make sure I check it out, man. Appreciate you showing up.
Oh. All right. Well, this has been another. I lost you. I'm back. Okay. We good. This has been another great episode of Headkicks and Haymakers, my brother. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll be back Wednesday night. We'll talk about all these great fights that happened at UFC 299. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. I'm going to hit that outro. We will see you next Wednesday, folks.
Peace.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.
Hey, the boy got 21 eyes on this motherfucker. You saw that shit?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.